one of 3 siblings. You have my older brother, you have me, the middle child, and you have my baby sister, okay? Who, for the sake of this video, we shall call Judas. Now, Judas was 8 years old at the time when all this happened. And I'm 3 years older than Judas, which made me 11. Now, being that we're siblings, we did sibling things, okay? We argued, we bickered, we made fun of each other. That was just our dynamic, okay? It still ain't changed very much to this day. That's just what we do. Now, when my sister was 8 years old, okay, she, I'm just gonna come out and say, okay, she used to piss the damn bed. She did, okay? It was not her fault. She was 8 years old. She had an overactive bladder. Now, because of this, and because how petty I am back then, I used to use it to make fun of her. I am not the same person I used to be. Now, don't feel sorry for her, okay? She's not the victim in the story, okay? I am. Now, because my sister had to have her drinks cut off at a certain time, I did not, okay? I was more responsible. I never peed the bed. I was good. Oh, how sweet baby Jesus will make you eat your words so fast. That night was very interesting. I woke up the next morning in a pool of my own urine. Yep, he made me eat my words so quick. I almost waterboarded myself. That's how much piss there was in that bed for me. I quickly changed my clothes. I quickly changed the covers to my bed, everything. I wanted to make sure that there was no evidence of me doing this. I don't want anybody to see, and I don't want my baby sister to hold it against me. She saw, she saw, and she held it against me for many, many years to come. That morning we woke up and she saw, she went in on me. She went ham on me. She made fun of me. She was like, oh my God, you shouldn't be peeing your bed. You're older. She had a point. I was older. So this was more embarrassing for me because I was entering middle school. Fast forward 24 years, me and Judas are sitting on the couch reminiscing about our past. We're laughing. We're having a good time. Just like, hey, remember that time that you pissed the bed? I was like, yeah, I remember. What about it? She was like, well. Now, usually when you hear a well in a story, it's because there's some shady truth about to come. I said, well, what? She goes, well, remember that time that you pissed the bed? And I was like, yeah, I remember. I'm so sorry for making fun of you. I really sympathize. It wasn't your fault. You had an overactive bladder. She's like, yeah, I did. I did have an overactive bladder. But this particular moment, you pissed me off. And I'm like, okay. And I said, I know, I'm sorry. I told you, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Why are we bringing all this up right now? Like, are we rehashing old stuff right now? Like, why are you bringing up old shit? You know what I mean? She goes, no, well, that night, I just want to tell you that I actually climbed into your bed. I pissed the bed, crawled back out, changed, went back into my bed so you could think that you woke up and you pissed the bed yourself. I was like, cool. So you just 24 years you've been holding this secret? And she's laughing her. She's like, yup. Now I'm petty and I'm ready to settle the score. I'm going after my niece, her daughter. Yup.
I should be studying right now, but the craziest thing ever happened to me and I literally have to talk about it. As you guys know, I'm a freshman in college and I'm staying in a dorm out here. I'm at a Christian university. A lot of the people that come to this school are looking for a relationship and are trying to find their husband or wife. There's this thing called Ring by Spring that's like a really popular thing here because people get engaged like their freshman year by the spring term. That kind of makes me think that like the guys here like take girls more seriously. Also because they're Christian, they probably like treat girls better, right? Boy, am I wrong. So I meet this guy and he's trying to pursue me, but I just see him as a friend. Every single one of my classes I have with him. So I'm with him a lot. Obviously, I started liking him a little bit, but it's not all that. You know what I mean? But listen to this. We got into a little argument the other day because he was calling me gordita. Like, I'm not gordita. Don't be calling me gordita. Yes, I'm gonna take it the wrong way. Vaca. Like, cow. Don't call me cow. Like, maybe just gordita is okay, but when you pair those two together, then it starts getting sus. Especially when I weigh more than you. I got a little upset, right? And I did what one does. I stormed away, right? As I was storming away, these 2 girls approached me. This is in the middle of the cafeteria at my school. And they come up to me and they're like, hey, you're really pretty. And I'm like, thank you. Like, am I about to make friends right now? And then they just keep staring at me. And they're like, are you talking to anyone? Are you dating anyone? And I was like, why are you asking me this? Like, in my mind, I was like, they're in love with me. Like, these girls want me. What's going on? I was like, no, I am completely single. I'm not talking to anyone at all. And they're like, do you know blank? Let's give him a name. What should we call him? Let's call him Chad. They're like, do you know Chad? And I was like, yeah, I know Chad. Why? And they're like, oh, he said he was like talking to you. And I was like, no, I'm not talking to him. And they started getting really awkward. They're like, oh, I don't know if we should tell you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what? So I go on a walk with these girls to the library that I just met. And then they tell me, they're like, oh, the reason we're asking is because we're talking to Chad too, and we just found out. We literally just met each other. So these two girls have been talking to Chad this whole time. He's been entertaining them and me all at the same time. Y'all know what I mean when I say entertaining. And like the dates match up, the text messages match up. So then I was like, I know this is not happening, right? That like hurt me, because if you're gonna say you want only me, then want only me. I was taken back. I was like, what? No way. So I did what one does, and I sent him a picture of the three of us together. This man freaked out. Let me just say that. He freaked out. Honestly, it's one of those situations where I'm not even mad. You know, my ex gave me tough skin. Like, I did not tweak for a second. I was just like, okay, now it's easier because now I know you're really not someone I would ever be interested in. And then this was his reasoning. He was like, there in the past, I want just you. I wasn't honest with them, but I'm honest with you. And then I was like, if you're going to be doing that with them and you treat girls like that, then that's how you're going to treat me, and you're never going to have a chance with me. That's my first time ever talking to a Christian guy, ever talking to a Hispanic guy. And that's how it turned out. So, yeah.
What's the worst coincidence that's ever happened in your life? I guess I'll start. When I was a senior in high school, I decided to tweet a picture of literal fire. And I captioned it, "This will all make sense tomorrow." I had just bought a new red car and I was planning on going to school tomorrow to show it off. The car was red, fire is red. I'm a comedian, I know. Needless to say, I went to sleep that night and I ain't think nothing of it. I woke up the next day and I ain't feel too good, so I decided not to go to school. Then I start getting all these texts and calls from my friend talking about, did you do it? And I'm like, what did I do? They was like, did you set the school on fire? And I was like, what? They said we all outside because the fire alarms went off, and last night you tweeted a picture of fire. And I even managed to caption it, "This will all make sense tomorrow." I'm not even in school, but it gets better because then the school calls me.
Am I the bad apple for giving my students crabs? I, 28 female, teach at a lower income school here in the States. This year, for the animal biology lesson, in addition to having our pet turtle, I decided to invest in hermit crabs. Kids were so excited. They took turns taking care of them, learned all about them, named them, and after the unit finished, I decided I'd pick 3 students to take crabs home. Of course, they filled out forms, they got permissions from their guardians, and the grown-ups had to come to me to get the crabs, all cleared by admin, of course. I just wanted to make sure the parents understood what they were signing up for. But a week later, one of the students told me her crab died. I sent her to the guidance counselor to walk her through the grief process and reached out to her mom to see how I could support her. According to mom, I'm a total jerk for giving her daughter the pet to begin with. It wasn't my place to give her daughter a pet, and I crossed so many lines. She then complained to admin about me, who told me it was a bad idea.